What is up everyone, it is Sacred Saiyan here, and today we're going to be doing the second episode of What If Z Broly and Super Broly Were Twins. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you want another part, and YouTube has a new hype feature to boost videos in the algorithm, so if the feature pops up for you if you're watching on mobile, I'd appreciate you hyping up the video. Anyway, with that being said, let's get into it. So, this video begins very closely after the last one ended. Broly has a couple days to settle into his new home, with Chi-Chi calming down a bit and accepting Broly into her home, as at least he is more well-mannered than Goku, and he could be a babysitter for Gohan if she ever needs to go out. And sadly, since there is only such a short time, Goku isn't able to help Broly learn to control his power just yet, but he does still tell Broly about the Cell games, trying his best to explain the events of the Android/Cell saga up until now, and Broly doesn't really get all of it, but he has a rough idea. Long story short, there is a strong bad guy they need to beat in this upcoming fight, and if they lose, the Earth will be destroyed, including his new home, which Broly really doesn't want to happen. And Broly does offer to help, but Goku says it's probably best Broly doesn't get involved. This isn't Broly's fight, he had nothing to do with it coming about, so we should leave it up to them. Besides, with Broly not being able to control his power yet, he might be a bigger threat to the planet than even Cell if he goes berserk. Broly is a bit disheartened, but Goku puts his hand on his shoulder, saying it'll be okay. Goku already has a plan to beat Cell, and after they do, Goku promises he'll help Broly control that power, so there will never be a risk of him going berserk again. Broly softly smiles, thanking Goku, and he asks what Goku is going to do in order to prepare, but Goku says nothing. They've prepared as much as they can. The best they can do now is rest until the Cell games begin, so that is what they do, and eventually, the day of the Cell games arrives, with Goku and Gohan telling Chi-Chi goodbye, as they are about to teleport there, but Broly comes over, saying he knows Goku doesn't want him to fight, but he'd like to watch. Goku doesn't have a problem with it, so he tells Broly to grab on, and then the three of them teleport to the arena, and Cell turns around, looking towards them. Cell says it's nice to see Goku once again, but Cell then looks to Broly, and he would ask Goku who his tall friend is. Goku tells Cell his name is Broly, but he won't be fighting today. He's here to watch. Cell says that's a shame, but if Goku doesn't give him a good enough challenge, this Broly fellow may have no choice but to intervene. Broly doesn't take kindly to this subtle threat, but Goku puts his arm in front of Broly, saying that won't be necessary, and Cell smirks. They will see. Soon enough, the other Z fighters arrive, and the Cell games begin as usual. Cell quickly taking care of Mr. Satan, even though everyone watching knows Cell was 100% cheating, and Goku then steps up to take on the bio-android. While this fight takes place, Android 16 and Broly introduce themselves to each other, seeing as they were the two new people to the group, and they actually seem to be quite similar in some ways. Both gentle brutes, who may be misunderstood due to looking intimidating, but they both value life and wish to protect it. It seems Broly might have made himself another friend here on Earth, but back to Goku vs Cell, their fight remains the exact same. I know some of you will probably be commenting that Goku should wash Cell here, since he probably got a massive Zenkai after getting beaten up constantly during the Broly movie. But at this point, Zenkai boosts just aren't as potent, especially for the likes of Goku and Vegeta, who already spammed out Zenkais during the Namek arc. So Goku didn't really grow that much after recovering from the events of the Broly movie, and therefore, Cell still gaps Goku by a considerable margin, though due to Goku being a martial arts genius, he is still able to keep up with this suppressed version of Cell, and even catch him off guard at certain points, like with the instant transmission Kamehameha, though, in the end, the battle remains the same, with Goku forfeiting, and saying he has someone else even stronger than him, who will step up to defeat Cell. Everyone immediately looks to Broly, and Broly is confused. He thought Goku said he didn't want him to fight, and Cell says very well, Goku is the strongest person he has ever fought, that is certain, but if Goku claims Broly is even stronger than him, he will certainly accept the challenge. But Goku says he actually wasn't talking about Broly, he was talking about Gohan. Everyone is completely shocked, including Gohan, but Goku then jumps over to his son, telling him that he can do it. Gohan is already stronger than he is, and he saw a glimpse of even even greater power dormant within Gohan while they were inside the Room of Spirit and Time. Gohan is speechless, but Goku asks if his battle with Cell looked too rough for him, and Gohan says no, but him and Cell weren't fighting for real yet, right? Goku smiles, saying he doesn't know about Cell, but he was doing his best, though to Gohan, that looked like he wasn't really trying, since Gohan didn't realize he already surpassed him. Piccolo would ask Gohan if this is true, and Gohan would agree, but Vegeta would think he's lying. Surely he would have seen it in the fight against Toma, though Goku says that Toma was so much stronger than them already that the gap between his and Gohan's power wasn't noticeable and didn't really make a difference, but against Cell, it will make all the difference. Goku then pats Gohan on the back, telling him to do it, bring peace back to the world. He wants to grow up to be a scholar, right? Gohan says alright, he'll give it a try, so he then steps up to Cell, and Goku would ask Krillin for a senzu bean, with Krillin giving him one, and Goku immediately throws it over to Cell, telling him to eat it. This shocks everyone, and Cell immediately does so, healing up, and Gohan then powers up to his fullest, shocking everyone with his might. Obviously, it's nothing compared to Toma or Broly, which is why they couldn't really sense it properly before, but now they are focused on his power specifically. It's crazy, and at his age, the battle between Cell and Gohan then commences, and plays out the same as usual, until Cell traps Gohan in a bear hug, and Piccolo explains Goku's misunderstanding. Gohan isn't like Goku. He doesn't enjoy fighting. He doesn't even know Goku's plan, and Gohan isn't getting angry. He's getting afraid, wondering why his father won't help him when he is in so much pain. The moment Goku comes to this realization, he demands a senzu bean, Krillin saying alright, and Broly is about to jump in as well. He knows Goku told him not to get involved, but he won't let that monster hurt Goku's son. Goku saved him, and now he will return the favor, but before they can, Cell quickly blitzes Krillin, stealing the senzu beans, and after he goes back down to Gohan, Android 16 grabs a hold of him, preparing to sacrifice his life by self-destructing, and Broly shouts no, as 16 attempts to self-destruct, but nothing happens. 16 is confused, wondering why it didn't work, and Krillin tells him that when he was fixed up in Capsule Corp, they removed the bomb, and then, without hesitation, Cell fires a key blast that destroys Android 16, leaving only his head remaining. Broly's anger begins bubbling to the surface, but Goku quickly calms him down and tells Broly to remember he can't lose control here. Broly is barely keeping his anger under control, and Cell then spawns the Cell Juniors, which begin to attack the Z Fighters, Broly using this anger to defend himself against one of them, and Broly is more than holding his own, but he sees Goku getting beaten down since he never got to eat a senzu bean. This distraction allows the Cell Junior to land attacks on Broly, and Gohan watches all of this going on. Android 16's head is then thrown in front of Gohan, and he tells Gohan that it's not a crime to fight for good. There are some who will never listen to words. Feel the anger. Set your passions free. I know how you feel, but you don't have to hold back. The wild animals and the forests I loved, don't let them be destroyed. Protect them for me. Cell then stomps on Android 16's head, snapping the chains locking Gohan's power within, and he now unleashes that power with an earth-shattering roar. Everyone looks in amazement, as Gohan is now a Super Saiyan 2. Thankfully, Broly didn't see the same thing Gohan did, otherwise he'd probably be out of control right now. But since Gohan is able to control his rage, he uses it to steal the senzu beans from Cell, and then decimate every Cell Junior in sight. Gohan then gives Trunks the senzu beans, having him use them to help the others, and Gohan then goes head to head with Cell once more. Broly watches on as Gohan begins to decimate Cell. Goku told him that Gohan used to struggle controlling his anger before, just like him, but now he seems to have perfect control. Is it really possible for him to do that as well? Gohan is completely embarrassing Cell. He is able to avoid or block every single attack, and occasionally Gohan even lets Cell land an attack, just to show him that even if Cell can hit Gohan, it does 0 damage. And every time Gohan decides to hit Cell, it feels like getting hit by a truck. Cell then flies up, powering up a Kamehameha, but Gohan responds with his own, and it overpowers Cell's within an instant, tearing off multiple limbs. Goku tells Gohan to finish him off, but Gohan says no, he deserves to suffer more. Goku being shocked, and Broly now learns something very important. Just controlling his anger isn't enough, it's also controlling his ego. Once he masters the power from his anger, Cell then regenerates, growing larger and trying to attack Gohan, but Gohan dodges every attack. Cell gave up speed in exchange for power, and that is the exact thing he mocked Trunks for earlier. His desperation is making him sloppy, and this sloppiness allows Gohan to hit Cell with a devastating gut punch, which makes him vomit up Android 18, reverting him to his semi-perfect form. And now knowing he has absolutely zero chance of fighting back, Cell resorts to his final move, self-destruction. He will die, but at least he'll take Gohan, along with the rest of the Earth, with him. Gohan is about to attack, but Cell advises him against it, as all it would do is result in his death even sooner. Nobody knows what to do, and Broly is angered at himself. If only he could have controlled his power, he could have taken out Cell. This could have all been avoided. Goku then steps forward, turning back and smiling. He says that he's been thinking, and he can't come up with any other way to save the Earth. Everyone is confused, but Goku then puts two fingers to his head, saying, "Broly, you'll learn to control your power. I believe in you. Bye guys." Broly recognizes that hand placement. It's like when he teleported him to Earth. Broly tries to run to Goku, telling him not to do it, but Goku then vanishes, appearing in front of Gohan and placing his hand on Cell. He looks back to Gohan, telling him he is proud of him, and to tell his mum he is sorry. Broly shouts Goku's name, as Goku then teleports, along with Cell, to King Kai's planet, apologizing to King Kai, as he had no other place he could go. Cell then explodes, engulfing Goku in the blast, and now the hope of the universe has been snuffed out. Gohan screams as he begins to cry uncontrollably, and Broly just stands there, not being able to move and not saying a word. He just has a stunned facial expression as tears begin to flow down his face. Cell then reappears back on Earth, shooting a death beam straight through the chest of Trunks, and explaining how he survived. If they want to kill him, they will need to make sure even microscopic pieces of him don't remain. He even got a Zenkai boost from his near-death experience. He's powered up like Gohan now, and with that, he truly is perfect. Broly watches on, and his anger was already bubbling after the death of 16, and now he can't keep it down. The entire planet begins to shake, everyone turning to Broly as he is enveloped by a green aura, bulking up in size, with his hair spiking up and his eyes turning yellow. Broly's pupils then begin breaking apart, like they are about to explode, but he then feels a hand on his shoulder, and he hears a familiar voice. "Don't let it control you, Broly. Tame your power. Make it your own." Broly's pupils stop breaking apart. Is that Goku? Goku says that's right. He's talking to him through King Kai. "It's okay, Broly. Now, just feel the power flowing through you, and harness it. Don't let it consume you." Broly looks down at his hands, feeling the power, and he is actually controlling it. He feels immense rage, but it won't control him. He knows what he must do. Vegeta uses Broly as a distraction, rushing over to Cell and powering up into Super Saiyan before firing a massive blast at the bio-android. However, Cell is unfazed by this surprise attack and simply kicks Vegeta to the ground, preparing to fire a beam of his own at the prince. But before he can, Broly appears next to Cell, snapping the arm he was about to use, and then grabbing him by the face, slamming him into the nearest mountain, and then dragging him across it. Cell attempts to break free, kicking Broly in the face, but the attack is meaningless, doing nothing but making Broly stronger, and Broly then slams Cell into the ground, letting go of his face, only to grab onto one of his legs, and he begins slamming him like a ragdoll. Cell is getting heavily damaged, but he won't take this any longer, so he coots his hand in ki and slices off the leg Broly is holding, flying away and then regenerating the lost limb. Cell then begins to charge up his final attack. Nothing less will even damage Broly, and he knows it. So not only does Cell begin charging up a solar Kamehameha, he also buffs up like he did earlier, exchanging all his speed for power, as speed is useless in a clash of energy. He will put every drop of ki he has into this very attack, and he aims it in the direction of the Earth. So if Broly doesn't stop it, not only will the Earth be destroyed, but so will the entire solar system. Cell then fires the beam, Broly getting in its trajectory and quickly firing a mouth blast in response, not only clashing with the attack, but overpowering it. And as he does, we pan to behind Cell, and Gohan is in the air, powering up a Kamehameha of his own, with Goku speaking to Gohan from Otherworld, and telling him to do it. Show him the power they made together. Believe in that strength. Believe in yourself, and end Cell once and for all. Alongside the vestige of Goku, Gohan performs a father-son Kamehameha, and as it hits Cell, Broly's beam overcomes Cell's one, and Cell is now caught in the middle of both attacks, being completely eviscerated in the epicenter, and Gohan and Broly then stop their attacks, as to not create a massive explosion that destroys the planet. Gohan and Broly then revert to their base forms, and Goku congratulates both of them. They did it. Gohan falls to the ground, smiling, and Broly smiles as well, looking over at Gohan. Gohan doesn't need to be healed by Dende here, since he never gets his arm hit by Cell's blast, and after everything Vegeta has seen today, his mindset is shaken to its core. He is the Prince of Saiyans, yet the weakest of his time, surpassed by not only Goku, but his son and Broly. And how dare Goku die like that? He'll never fight again. Vegeta then flies off, and Mr. Satan still takes credit for the defeat of Cell, allowing him to rise to fame as the Earth's greatest hero. And we now head to the lookout, where the Z Fighters use their Dragon Balls to revive everyone killed by Cell, also removing the bombs from the androids, scoring Krillin some points with Android 18, as he was the one who made the latter wish. They also try to revive Goku, but since Goku was revived with the Earth's Dragon Balls before, he can't be revived again. Goku then gets in contact with all of them through King Kai. He did consider remaining dead, as he felt that he attracted all the villains, and he wanted the Earth to remain in peace. But since Paragus recently only came to Earth and led to the trouble with Toma because of Vegeta, it sort of disproves that notion to an extent. It doesn't just completely negate all of the other villains coming for Goku, but that isn't the only thing that affects Goku's decision. Goku also promised Broly that he would help him control his power, and Goku wants to keep that promise. So he decides that he will come back to Earth, letting everyone know that him and King Kai will get the Namekians to revive him, and that is exactly what he does. The Namekians are very willing to help Goku, as he is a savior to their people, and so a short time later, Goku's halo disappears, and he instant transmissions back to the lookout. Gohan runs up and hugs him, and Broly walks over, smiling at Goku, and Goku does the same as they fist bump. Everyone then goes their separate ways, with Goku, Gohan and Broly returning back to their home at Mount Paozu. And Chi-Chi is so thankful that not only is Gohan alive, but that Goku chose to come back to her. The next day, Trunks heads back to his timeline, saying goodbye to everyone for hopefully the last time. And Trunks wonders if maybe Broly is alive in his timeline, because he won't need his help against the androids, but he would be a great ally to have for future battles. Though, if he is alive in his timeline, that means Toma probably is as well. And then Trunks gets a bit worried, but he knows that no matter what, he will find a way and save the future. And this is where we're going to end off today's part. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then remember to like, subscribe, and comment if you want another part. Also, if you're watching on mobile, use your hype points and hype up the video. If you want to support the channel and help me upload more frequently, since I do actually lose money on most videos, you can become a channel member. And I know, this part isn't as Broly centric as some of you may like, but it's like Goku said at the beginning, this wasn't Broly's fight. He just conveniently came to Earth at a bad time, but in the end, he fought for his new home and put an end to Cell alongside Gohan. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Toma. This is still his story as much as it is Broly's, so you will be seeing him again in the next episode of What If Z Broly and Super Broly Were Twins. Goodbye guys.